Changes are coming this deer hunting season in some northwest Iowa counties. The Iowa DNR has divided the state into two different zones, Zone A and Zone B. Now, Zone B includes Lyon, Sioux, O'Brien, Plymouth, Woodbury, Ida, Crawford, and Shelby counties. Those are the ones highlighted in yellow. The rest of the state is Zone A. General deer licenses in the counties within Zone B will only be able to hunt antlered bucks. Party hunting, that's not allowed in Zone B. When hunters purchase their deer licenses, they'll have to select the zone they plan to hunt in. Zone A licenses are not valid in Zone B, and Zone B licenses are not valid in Zone A. With all of these new changes, the Iowa DNR is holding 4 public meetings to inform hunters before the licenses go on sale August 15th. Tonight was the DNR's meeting in Hinton, Iowa. This meeting gave hunters a chance to ask questions and understand why the changes are happening. DNR representatives shared that the biggest reason for the change, because deer numbers in northwest Iowa have dropped more than 50% when compared to 20 years ago. This is due to limited habitat and repeated hemorrhagic disease outbreaks. Many hunters asked why the DNR came to the decision to use zones to help the population and shared some frustrations with having to pick between 2 counties. The DNR shared that over the past 2 years, they've talked to over 400 Iowa hunters and said this was the best decision moving forward.
One thing that I know is that there's nobody wondering why we're doing what we're doing. Everyone's aware of the population decline in western Iowa, and I think in general people are very happy to see something being done. There's always certain folks that are going to be impacted more than others, and we do want to hear from those folks too and make sure that they understand our rationale and why we're doing what we're doing.
The Iowa DNR says the new zones will stay in place until the deer population starts to recover. If you couldn't make tonight's meeting, the Iowa DNR will hold 2 more this week. Tomorrow, August 5th at Sandy Hollow Clubhouse in Sioux Center, and then Thursday the 6th at Prairie Heritage Center near Peterson. All of the meetings start at 6 p.m. To read more about the changes and about the upcoming meetings, check out the story at ktiv.com.